Hey guys, here's the assignment that I did for chapter one. So I started by downloading a MIDI file. The MIDI file that I downloaded was the Star Wars theme. So I downloaded the MIDI, and there were quite a few tracks actually. There were um, 11 or 12, I believe, but I imported them into the session, and uh, and then I ended up deleting a few of the tracks um, because I wasn't 100% sure what the instruments were on those. I think some of those were percussion tracks, and I just couldn't get those to sound right when I started putting different sounds to them. So once I got these tracks imported, I went over here to our sounds, and I just kind of started messing around with some of the string sounds and some of the different synthesizer sounds. I couldn't find many under the string sounds that I liked too much. The main one that I went with was this first one here um, that I kind of liked the sound of for the main theme. Um, so I kind of just found that one sound that I liked, and I put it onto each of these tracks and just kind of listened to them as a whole. Then I started going through and soloing each of the tracks to figure out exactly what part they were supposed to be. And then I started labeling them here, renaming them. Um, then once I got all that figured out, I started kind of putting together a little general mix. So kind of dropping the levels on a few of the different tracks that weren't the main themes. And I started throwing a few of them to pan left and right, keep a couple of those main ones in the center. Um, Once I did that, I kind of explored with a few different effects over here in this section. I tried a few different reverbs, and I did like one of the hall reverbs on here that I was using with some of the percussion effects, um, and I just dragged those over right into this section here. So once I got that all figured out, I went back over here and I kind of played it and listened to it for a little bit, adjusted the mix if I didn't like certain things. And I also worked with the slicing tools to cut out some of the parts that we really didn't need that didn't have any MIDI files in it. I also did try to use some of the percussion tracks, and I tried to quantize it, but I kind of had an issue with syncing up the tempo up here and finding that right start point with this piece. And I think part of the reason I had an issue with quantizing was some of the triplets that were in the percussion, especially, that had issues. So I kind of deleted some of those tracks that I didn't like, um, and then left the main ones in there. So I'm going to go ahead and play it and let you guys give it a listen.